You have tried moving on with your life. You have tried getting off some stuffs from your mind, like events and people that you feel you just have to let go from your heart. But the truth remains that these things are not going away from your mind the way you wanted it. What is the solution? You are stranded and you are down without words. What more can you do? How will you do this? Because it is very important to you. You have to remove those things, those memories, that person from your life and the memories from your mind so that you can easily move on with your life. You have prayed to God so that He will help you to remove that disturbing memory of someone that you have left and move on, but is still the way it has always been. Not like God does not answer prayers, but because there are things in play that you have not known. And that is the reason this is still playing in you. God is intentional in the things that you are doing. God is still telling you something. When you are finding it hard to get someone out of your mind, when you cannot take the thought of someone away from your heart, and that is against your own will, that is a sign of something, and you have to know it so that you will know what you will do. Too much attachment with someone can lead you into that difficulty. You cannot blame yourself over some certain things that happen to you in life. This is not what you may want or mean from the beginning. Getting too close and over-attached to someone can lead you into such situations. When you are too used to someone, over the time you cannot do anything without them. You cannot stay without them. Your life and the time you have spent together has formed a strong bond that cannot be broken by anything. Though at the long run, it seemed to you that it is time to move on because of the turn of thing, because you do not see the reason to continue and every indication is pointing and telling you to move on with your life. And now that you have decided to move on, you cannot get that person away from your mind. You cannot stay in peace with the thought of that person coming to your mind. You know that is not what you want, but it keeps coming. Your attachment. You have not just spent time together with someone, but your soul has found the comfort of knitting together, and that has been the reason you have been finding it difficult to get the thought of the person out of your mind. It could happen to your family members and even friends from a long way coming. When two friends have been together for a long time coming, and it happens that something will have to affect the closeness, like living in different locations far from each other. It could also happen to lovers, and it is more paramount when a lover loses his own lover to death. You know that attachment. You know that closeness and the shared chemistry between them will always reflect in the person's thought. That feeling of friendship and closeness is the reason you cannot get someone off your mind. When you are feeling love for someone, it is always a different situation to know someone. It is a different case to be with someone, and it is also a different case when you are feeling something for someone. When you are feeling something lovely for someone, you will know what it means to be occupied with the thought of someone in you. Though you may seem not interested in that feeling, it may not be what you wanted. It may not be idle probably, because of your position and who you are, but what your eye has seen has transferred some sweet information into your mind, which has been processed into an emotion that is not fully blown, and you do not know how to handle it. You are confused. Should you continue with it, or you have to let it die down? When you are in love with someone, the thought of that person will be hard to leave your mind. When someone has taken a place in your life and in your heart, you cannot easily get them off your thought like that, because they have formed a part of your life. You have kept some good memories of that person in your mind that is so numerous that you cannot even take them off so easily. When someone has played a big role and made a great impact in your life and success, one of the sure ways to register yourself in the thought of someone is by helping and being part of their life and success. You do not expect someone whom you have stood by when they had not to stand. You gave the person support. You gave that person your time and shared resources with that person to ensure that they are good and established. Unless that person is just an ingrate, that is only when they will forget and get the thought of their helper off easily. But when someone is grateful, after everything someone has done for them, how the person inconvenienced themselves to see that you are all right and comfortable, the sacrifice and the prices that were not easy. When you look back to all of these things, then you will know how difficult it is to get that person off your mind. You will see how hard it will be for you to forget that person so easily. You cannot just let off that person off your mind because the person has established themselves in you when they were with you in the days of your lack and help you get into a good life, gave you everything even beyond what you have expected. That is one reason you are finding it difficult to let off that person's thought and memories out of your mind. They have paid the price to gain a good place in your life. They helped you when you are in troubles that no one identified with you. When friends and families left you, when you had no one to call upon, they were there for you. So that is the reason you are finding it difficult to get them off your mind and still keeps coming always. When you need to do something for them, there is a way God blesses people by using people. Sometimes, if God wants to touch your life and bless you through someone, God will put the thought of that person that He wants to bless in the heart of that person He wants to use to bless that person. And you must understand and know it now that God lifts a person for the purpose of lifting others in the future. God blesses people so that they will be a means through which someone can be blessed in the future when the time comes. Like the case of Mordecai, Esther 6:1-10. On that night, the king could not sleep, and he ordered that the book of memorable deeds, the Chronicles, be brought, and they were read before the king. 2. And it was found, written there, how Mordecai had told Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's attendants who guarded the door, who had sought to lay hands on King Ahasuerus. And the king said, "What honor or distinction has given Mordecai for this?" Then the king's servants who ministered to him said, "Nothing has been done for him." 7. And Haman said to the king, "For the man whom the king delights to honor." 8. Let royal apparel be brought which the king has worn, and the horse which the king has ridden, and a royal crown to be set on his head. 9. And let the apparel and the horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes. Let him array the man whom the king delights to honor, and conduct him on horseback through the open square of the city, and proclaim before him, "Thus shall it be done to the man whom which the king delights to honor." 10. Then the king said to Haman, "Make haste, and takes the apparel and the horse, as you have said, and do so to Mordecai the Jew, who sits at the king's gate. Leave out nothing that you have spoken." This is God doing it. Until you do it, that person's thought will keep replaying in your mind when you find yourself in such situations. What you have to do is that you try to know what that feeling is communicating to you. You will know what to do and how to do it. That is the only way you can get you person back to yourself. All these and more are the reasons you may not be able to get the thought of someone off your mind easily as you wanted it.